Embattled Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane says President Cyril Ramaphosa must withdraw his letter warning her of her possible suspension. She also wanted Ramaphosa to distance himself from her parliamentary impeachment process, saying the president was conflicted because her office was investigating his alleged conduct. What gives her the confidence that the president will withdraw the said letter? We are now joined by Legal Analyst Mpumelelo Zikalala. Mr. Zikalala, very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to The Full View.
Good evening, and thank you very much for having me.
Now, this is a very, very loaded statement, especially from a public office bearer facing impeachment in Parliament. Does she have a legal leg to stand on?
I don't think so on this one. Let's remember what the president has done. The president has said, according to Section 194, subsection 3 of the Constitution, I have the power to suspend you. However, let me give you a right of reply before I do so. Show me reasons of why I shouldn't suspend you. What ought to have been done, or maybe what could have worked better, is that the reasons in which the public protector is stating of the alleged biasness that can be there, or the conflict that may exist between the president and her, must or ought to have been contained in that reply letter. So the letter should have said, Mr. President, I'm currently investigating you in certain matters. Number 2, I think I'm a fit and proper public protector to carry on the duties of this office. The office still needs me to function optimally. There are certain reports which are outstanding. My attention is not going to be split between the commission or the parliamentary process and my work as a public protector, which is a very important office as it is a Chapter 9 institution. So on that basis, there's no reason whatsoever why I should doubt my allegiance to the office, or maybe that I'm going to be not be able to provide my duties as usual. So allow me to do the work while the parliamentary process is still continuing.
Well, she previously said that she's not averse to being held to account, and she'll always seek to ensure that the work of the Office of the Public Protector is not unduly and unlawfully disrupted. By telling the president to hold the brakes on suspending her, isn't it contradictory that she's being averse to being held to account? Because it may be construed as delaying the process.
Maybe the way she responded could have been a bit better, because what you then do, you must always stick to the processes and the procedures that have been laid down by the applicable law legislative framework. So in this case, the Constitution will tell you in what circumstances are you going to be suspended and who has the power to suspend you. So what you should do is then come back and say, let me deal with the rationality and the reasonableness of your decision. I'm going to show points or show factors which are going to lead to the fact that if you take a decision to suspend me, that particular decision would be unreasonable or would be irrational, because I've showed you all the important factors of why I'm competent to deal with this particular matter. In fact, there's a very perfect legal phrase in law saying the person is a fit and proper person to serve in that particular position. So what the public protector should do is to show the president why she is a fit and proper public protector to continue working, despite the fact that there's a parliamentary process that has been instituted, which is looking at our ability to occupy that office, their ability or any allegations of misconduct that may be hanging over her head.
So what are the possible roadblocks to her being impeached then?
If they are not going to find any information, let's remember that this particular process is handled by the Constitution. Now, there are 3 points which the Constitution looks at. It says either you've engaged in acts of misconduct. If there's no acts of misconduct, then the public protector should stay. If there are no any acts of incapacity in terms of public protector, then the public protector should stay. If there are no other acts of her being incompetent, then there are no processes or there are no factors in which would allow the public protector should be removed. So the very important question is, out of those 3, is there any conduct in which a public protector has participated in that warrant or fit into the definition of incapacity, definition of misconduct, and definition of incompetent, of being not competent to do a job? Now, what is going to matter the most is the number of finished investigations, the number of investigations that have been successful when they are taken to court for review. Certainly, the clean audit that the public protector has received is also going to have an impact, because at the end of the day, it proves that despite the fact that there may be adverse findings by various courts, the functioning of the office, which is most important, the state functioning in a manner in which the Constitution and the Public Protector Act intended it to function. Let's remember, it is not a process that you are going to have, or it's impossible that you can have a superhuman public protector. that is always going to win cases, that is always going to come back and say, those reports have passed our legal frameworks, they haven't been reviewed or overturned by the court. This particular system was not created to create a situation such as those ones. However, it does look at instances where, even though there are certain instances where those particular court cases are being reviewed, if you continue to lose them on a continuous basis, despite being informed by the court as to what to change and what not to change, you still to continue to do the same mistake, then definitely the eyes are going to shift and look into your competency and check and ask a very important question. Are you a fit and proper public protector to occupy that particular office?
And just the word competency, I suppose, it will lead to my next question of, the Constitutional Court judgment. And I suppose the most damning finding was the finding that amongst a series of weighty errors were some of which defy any characterization of an innocent mistake. Well, some may also argue that it has to do with the competency of her office. And will this not perhaps start a legal precedent? And you'll remember in the past that she hasn't been very successful in some of the court challenges.
Certainly, it is going to start a legal precedent, because let's remember that you want to get a public protector who's going to understand what sort of powers he or she has when they're occupying a particular office. Now, if you issue instructions or recommendations which are restrictive or instructive in nature, then you are removing the independence of the office that you are recommending to. And you can't do that because you are then engaging in an overreach fashion or manner. And this is not allowed or was not intended when the Office of the Public Protector was created. So at the end of the day, the question in which the parliamentary committee is going to be seized with is, do you really understand what it means to be a public protector? That's on a broader perspective. If you then zoom in, you then understand how you instruct these particular officers to conduct or to remedy or to remedy the defects that might have occurred while they're going about during the business.
Right. Mr. Zikalala, lovely chatting to you. Thank you so much for your analysis. Thank you for joining us. That was Legal Analyst Mpumelelo Zikalala just commenting on Public Protector Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane's letter saying that President Cyril Ramaphosa must withdraw his letter warning her of a possible suspension.